Did you say you like romance? You know, there's a book in the Bible about romance. Yeah, it's called Ruth. Oh, my bad. You're more into love letters? Oh my goodness. I know just the book for you. There's a book in the Bible about love letters. It's called The Song of Solomon. You don't want love letters, but you want poetry? Oh, I know just the book for you. There's a book in the Bible about poetry. Yeah, it's called Psalms. Oh, you like quotes and like motivational sayings and wisdom literature? There's a book in the Bible about that. It's called Proverbs. Oh, are you a leader? So you want a leadership book. You know, there's a book in the Bible about that too. It's called Nehemiah. Booyah. Did you say you're into fortune telling? Like you could read my palm? You know, there's a book in the Bible about that. In fact, there are many books in the Bible about fortune telling. And they are called the prophetic books. And there are lots of them. And the longer ones, they're called the major prophets. And the shorter ones, they're called the minor prophets. Did you say you used to be a slave? Oh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry. Oh, no, you didn't used to be a slave, but you own slaves. I see. That's a lot different and illegal in my country. Yes. But did you know there's a book in the Bible about that? Yeah, it's about a guy writing to a slave owner about his runaway slave. It's called Philemon. You should read it. I think it's right up your alley. Do you want to be able to read an entire book of the Bible in one day? Because there's a book in the Bible like that you can do. It's called Jude. You can read it in a day. Did you say you're a Christian and you love church? Oh my goodness, there's a book in the Bible about that too. It's called the Book of Acts. It talks all about the early church and early Christians, and you would love it. Speaking of beginnings, if you are someone who loves how things start and you want to know like the beginning of things, you know there's a book in the Bible about that too. It's called Genesis, appropriately named because it means the beginning. However, if you want a book that like talks about the end times and how things end, you're going to need to go to the book of Revelation. Did you say you're adopted? You know, there's a book in the Bible about that. It's called Esther. And Esther's adopted by her cousin. And then he like sends her off to the castle, or she's taken, and she becomes a princess. And they live happily ever after. Well, not really happily ever after because her kids don't really become king and queen. But spoiler alert, it's a really good book though. Esther, one of my favorites. You'll love it too. But speaking of history, if you want to read a book on history, there are lots of books in the Bible about history. There's Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. There's Samuel, 1st and 2nd Samuel. There's 1st and 2nd Kings as well. So that's like 6 books in the Bible to read about history. And you will be the biggest history buff in the world if you read those books. Did you say you're going through a midlife crisis? You know there's a book in the Bible about that. Yeah, it's called Ecclesiastes. Did you say you're a mathematician? There's a book in the Bible about that. It's called the Book of Numbers. So get your calculator ready. There are lots of numbers in the Book of Numbers. Oh, you're a lawyer, not a mathematician. You know, there's another book in the Bible about lawyers. It's called the Book of Judges. And I know lawyers are different than judges, but a lot of lawyers want to be judges, so you will like the Book of Judges. And in the Book of Judges, the judges rule the land, not like kings and queens. Did you say you love a good story? There are so many good story books in the Bible. There's Esther, there's Daniel, there's the book of Jonah and Ruth, and Genesis. Genesis has so many good stories in it. You will love it. It is my favorite of all time. Or did you say you're Jewish? You know, there's a book in the Bible about that. Yeah, well, the book of Matthew is written specifically to the Jewish population. And then also there's another book specifically for people who like coffee, who are like really into theology, and who want to see how Judaism relates to Christianity. It's called Hebrews. Oh, you just want a book about Jesus. Oh, okay, perfect. So like Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, or really any of the 66 books in the Bible. There are a lot of books in the Bible about Jesus. In fact, all 66 are about Jesus.